God, they're running the poly to the top of the walls. Somebody call the police. Somebody call the FBI. Look, there's no termite gap. Oh, he's a son of a bitch. But you know who ain't never crying? And that's the homeowners, guys, because you go talk to anybody that we've ever done a project for, and guys, that ain't just a happy customer that you're going to be talking to. That's going to be the happiest customer that's ever had a service company perform a service for them. You can't beat us. What? Look at that. Look behind me. You think you can call up anybody? You think you got a buddy that can do that? You think you know a friend that can do that? You think Jimmy or Ray or Billy or Bill or Guadalupe can do any of that? No, they can't. And if they could, you'd have already found their videos of them doing it, and you ain't gonna find it because there ain't but one place to find videos that show this type of quality, and that's right here at youtube.com/TannerFlowers. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so. It really helps that algorithm, baby. Woo! What is going on, guys? Tanner Flowers here, coming at you from one of my favorite developments that one of my best friends, Tom Cate, has ever done. And actually, the house that you're getting ready to see right there behind me used to be Tom Cate's house. This house right here over my shoulder belongs to our friends Crystal and Greg. Crystal and my wife have now worked together for more than 10 years. And my friend Beverly, she bought this house from Tom Cate quite a few years ago. I believe Tom and Beverly told me that this house was built in the early 2000s. Now, Tom had this custom home built right up here on the point of the river. He's got probably the best view in the entire community. And I guess that's the type of cherry picking you get to do whenever you actually create and design the entire community yourself. So I'll walk you guys over here real quick, give you guys a quick view from the point and right over here inside the backyard. And speaking of this backyard, whenever I was here a few weeks ago to perform the initial inspection of the crawl space, I was graphing this house, and you guys know how I am if you've been following along anytime at all in any of my project videos. I like to get those graphs as perfect as I can make them. And if you'll look behind me right here, you're going to see it here in just a minute. I got every single bit of this on paper by hand with nothing but a pen and a tape measure. And I'm going to spin it around real quick and walk you through the way this house is laid out and the plan that I came up with to solve all of these moisture problems that they have been encountering underneath this particular home. And for those of you watching who are familiar with construction, whenever you see the porches on homes right here where they start and the actual living quarters of the home inside there where that starts, you've usually got about an 8-foot span. Now, underneath that 8-foot span is a completely separate crawl space, typically from the main crawl space of the home, completely divided off by a foundation wall. And in this case, as in most, even though that you have a screened-in porch, and even though it's a covered porch, in big storms, guys, rain is blowing in at all kinds of angles, and whenever it makes its way through that screen, what it does, it goes down through the boards of the porch. And once again, not just here, I'm talking about in every single situation that you'll see like this, which is most all situations that the home has been built like this with a big wraparound porch. And that water just drips down inside there. It just saturates that entire ground, and that ends up becoming a huge problem for the crawl space itself. Now, here is that swimming pool that's right there. You know, it's covered up right now, but you'll see the back side of the house here. There is those steps. Here is the porch area that I'm pointing at now. You will see on my graph here that the area that is actually crawl space is always double lined. And then that orange highlighted line that you see there, that is where the inside perimeter French drain goes on this project, leading everything over here to the basin point, which will be as soon as we open up this crawl space door that we had to build right here. So right here at this crawl entry, that's going to be right here behind these bushes. You'll see a door right there. Actually, Hector and Valentine are coming over here right now to fix that door for Beverly. It does need some new latches and things on it. So once I go inside that door that I just mentioned, I will be under that porch area, and then right here I'll show you in the inspection photos here in just a moment. This was just a wide open hollow block frame with no crawl space door whatsoever, and going inside this crawl space right here, this is where all this water was coming to. We had a really bad leak taking place right up here that I discovered, and once again I did see signs of moisture where water had been present throughout this crawl space at some point in time. However, it didn't rain for more than 2.5 weeks into this project, which I will show you all some footage of here momentarily. But keep in mind, guys, once again, we're about to go in right here. We'll be underneath this porch area. I'm going to go inside that crawl space door, and then I'm probably going to turn right and take you guys throughout this entire crawl space project in this direction right here, making my way back outside the home to where I am right now. But before I take any of you underneath here and show you this finished project, I've got to take each and every single one of you under here with me a few weeks ago whenever I seen it all for the first time myself, because you won't appreciate what this finished project looks like until you see what we started with. So sit back, I hope you're sitting down, and take a look at this. As I just stated, I was not shocked at all whenever I crawled inside this crawl space for the very first time and seen the ground as wet as it is underneath all of this entire porch area. However, whenever I crawled inside the crawl space itself, I was kind of shocked to actually see how wet that ground was as well. And then all of that block you'll see to my right there of the fireplace, it was all jacked up, and Hector spent quite a bit of time just making sure all of that stuff was straight and perfect, which you will see in the final finished footage coming up very shortly. Now, there was already wood destroying fungus present, which did call for a sporicidin treatment, which was performed before we began any of our drainage work or any of our encapsulation project. Check out this leak right here. No one knew this was taking place. It was coming from the condensate line of the HVAC unit, and it was not plumbed properly. We did get all of that addressed and taken care of during our services here for my friend Beverly. As we make our way throughout the remainder of this crawl space now, you will see me pointing out several piers that were not touching the floor joist. I made a phone call to Tom myself and said, Tom, why were there some piers under here that were not touching these floor joists at all? And what had happened was the house plans had changed from the original plans, and there were new piers added to accommodate for those actual changes. So those piers that were not touching any joist were not in actual use, so to speak. As we go up now, you will see me pointing out more of the wet foundation down there at the bottom where it meets ground level, where some of the ground drainage had been making its way down here to the lower area, which it was all sloping down here towards our crawl space entry door. And that is why I decided to put our sump pump basin in those exact parameters. And now let's get back to seeing the finished project. I know a lot of you weren't expecting that, and I know you might be thinking, dang, what a mess they were about to encounter. And you'd be thinking right, but guys, that mess was no match for us. Let's get under here and check all this stuff out. And instead of just leaving this muddy path from right here to the actual crawl space entrance, Hector and Valentine took the time to make this gravel path so that you can crawl across the gravel instead of having to crawl through the mud just to get to the new crawl space entry. And we've now gone from not even having a crawl space door underneath here to having the nicest crawl space door inside the subdivision, there was still a gap up top there above the framing that Hector built, which he did seal with our galvanized steel before installing any of our 20 mil poly. Let's get these latches undone and go inside here and check this project out. And you guys already know, as soon as you open up any crawl space door on any of our Tennessee technicians finished projects, you just reach overhead and you guys, my friggin' light switch at. They put it back here at that first entry. Here it is. Boom, you got lights throughout this entire project, baby. Woo! Let's go in here and go all the way around this bad boy. This sure doesn't look like the same crawl space that I crawled under just a handful of weeks ago whenever I inspected this thing for the first time. Golly bum. Guys, you knocked this one out of the freaking park. Grand freaking slam, baby. Right here in front of us, guys. Every one of you probably already know that is one of 3 of our humidistat fans on this project. Let me just spin around here and show you guys the tops of all these walls. Look at all these penetration points. And this chimney right here behind me, guys, this fireplace area, all these blocks, as you may have seen on the inspection photos, these things were all jacked up. And look what Hector has pulled off right here. I'm telling you guys, he's a real artist. Hector, I just got mud right there on the poly coming in. It was on my knee pads, dude. I am so sorry. Whenever you come over here in just a little bit to clean the HVAC attachment lines, I will hopefully get a rag from you and wipe that back up. Guys, if you look overhead, you will also notice that we went from having no floor insulation under here whatsoever to now being fully insulated with our R19 poly-encapsulated insulation. And right here, I am assuming, is the 2 spots that Hector mentioned they will be sealing up whenever he gets here. He had to go by my house and get a couple pieces of insulation, he said, out of the garage to come back up here and finish those last 2 remaining spots right there. All right, guys, let's continue. And as we make our way along the front side of the home now, as soon as we turn this corner up here to our right, that is where we found that super bad leak that was taking place, which, come to find out, was stemming from a problem with the HVAC system. You will see that black drain hose going inside that PVC line now, where all of that problem has been eradicated and there is no longer any moisture present inside that area whatsoever. And now that you've all seen that that water is no longer a problem up inside this corner, I'll also take a moment and show you guys our big Santa Fe Advanced Dehumidifier, which Hector just got turned on yesterday afternoon. And these moisture levels inside this crawl space are already down to 47%. Now, whenever I insert some of these clips here in a moment showing you guys how much water was flowing inside of our sump pump basin, just about to, yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm over here trying to do a video showing people all this hard work that you've done. Why?
Why did you come in with shoes? Now I gotta go clean up again.
I know, I'm sorry. I just told everybody in the video, I'm sorry I made mud over there. It was actually on my knee pads, man. I'm sorry. Hector, I'm sorry. Hector! Hector! And guys, as far as maintenance goes on our big Santa Fe Advanced Dehumidifiers, if you will look within those open slots right there at the front of the unit, you can see the filter for the dehumidifier. Right here on the side, notice this is a magnetic strip. If I go ahead and pull that strip off, this filter ever so easily slides right out. Guys, every 6 months minimum, you need to take this filter out and change it with a brand new filter. And then all you got to do is put your magnetic strip back up in place just as it's supposed to be. And guys, I just did that one freaking handed. Moving around to the front of the unit now, you will see the settings right here before you. And right here on this dial, guys, imagine if this was a clock and this was 6 o'clock right here at the bottom. If this screw right here was 9 o'clock, notice right here where we've got this pointing, I always like to have that set right around 7:30. You want to come right here make certain that your switch is always set to auto. And then right here coming out of the side of the unit, you will see the drain line where the dehumidifier is sending the water that it collects from the air down inside of this condensate pump, where that condensate pump basin fills up until it trips a float switch, sending all of that collected water up and over to our sump pump basin point, which was located just up there as we came inside the crawl space, which I will show you more of before we finish going outside of this brand new finished project. For those of you watching that may be new to our projects here at Tennessee Technicians, what you are looking at is a 20 mil fiberglass reinforced poly. Now, as the near 20-year business owner here, I am fully aware that if you contact 10 different business owners claiming to perform these type of projects right here, be prepared to hear 10 different resolutions for your problem. Whereas, if you choose to sit and invest your time and actually study up on these projects and watch freaking days, maybe even weeks worth of footage that I have taken the time to make for each and every single one of you over all these years, then you will see something really quick, and that's that our projects never change. You will see the same resolution taking place in each and every single project that you choose to click play on, that you're seeing right this second that I'm sitting here yapping my mouth. Right there is Humidistat fan number 2 of 3 on this particular project, which is, as always, our exhaust systems for our crawl space encapsulation projects. Let's carry on, baby! Woo! And you know, I've always gotten a kick out of all them crybabies on the internet. Go look at them in the comments, guys. Look at all my videos, look in the comments and see how many people are going, oh God, God, they're running the poly to the top of the walls. Somebody call the police. Somebody call the FBI. Look, there's no termite gap. Oh, he's a son of a bitch. But you know who ain't never crying? And that's the homeowners, guys. Because you go talk to anybody that we've ever done a project for, and guys, that ain't just a happy customer that you're going to be talking to. That's going to be the happiest customer that's ever had a service company perform a service for them. You can't beat us. What? Look at that. Look behind me. You think you can call up anybody? You think you got a buddy that can do that? You think you know a friend that can do that? You think Jimmy or Ray or Billy or Bill or Guadalupe can do any of that? No, they can't. And if they could, you'd have already found their videos of them doing it. And you ain't going to find it because there ain't but one place to find videos that show this type of quality. And that's right here at youtube.com/TannerFlowers. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so. It really helps that algorithm, baby. Woo! Good luck getting this type of quality inside the actual living quarters of your home, guys. You won't find corners this straight up there in your tile work, in your hardwood floor. Guys, this is some of the finest quality construction money can buy. Right over there to our right is our third Humidistat fan on this project. Guys, I really haven't taken you through exactly why you need an exhaust system on these projects. That's because most of you are not aware that you even do, because you don't have anyone to compare our projects to. But let me go ahead and tell you, if you seal a crawl space up like what you are seeing right here before your very eyes, and just like what you have been seeing since November of 2005 when I started this place, you better be prepared for stagnant odors to occur inside this crawl space, because it can't breathe. And if it can't breathe and you got stagnant odors inside here, there ain't nowhere for them to go but up inside them living quarters of this home. And if you don't have an exhaust system to take that air and send it outside this home, then prepare to be getting a phone call from an unhappy customer, and don't say old Tanner Flowers didn't tell you so, baby. A man wouldn't believe it by looking at it, that there's a full inside perimeter drain line going all the way around that full inside perimeter of this crawl space that I've been taking you through Just look at those piers before we pan right anymore, guys. That looks like a freaking Christmas present. Couldn't be done any better. Spectacular, phenomenal, guys, exquisite, blown away. Couldn't be more proud. There he is across through there somewhere, Hector and his brother Valentine. Guys, been fortunate to look up and find those two boys. They are just like me. Anything those guys want to attach their names to, it's going to be done grade A, 100, best quality you could find. What they're doing right now, you'll see Valentine over here cleaning all of these HVAC line attachments. This is something they like to do on their own time, on their own dime. This doesn't have anything to do with me. They are taking off all of this old tape where it's been losing air, cleaning these connection points, retaping these connection points, which will actually increase the productivity of Beverly's HVAC system. Notice how all of this ground is slanting down here towards our basin point. This is where all of our water from inside this ground is being collected. Let me show you down inside this thing here just a couple days ago. Let me take you all the way back to the very beginning of the project, and you will see Valentine hard at work with our SDS mortar drill, chiseling out some of that concrete footer so that our drainage line could connect to our main drain line for our French drain project, going around the full inside perimeter of this crawl space, as you will see right now with our special drainage fabric, with our 4-inch perforated pipe, with filter sock, and right here you will see as they were in progress of getting all of our drainage gravel backfilled into our actual French drain line. Now look at how level all of that gravel is, and also how level all of this dirt work here that you will see Valentine in progress of chiseling away at up there to make it all look like what it does right here before you, before any of our new 6 mil ground barrier went down into place, which was before any of our 20 mil poly even went down on top of that. Now, all of that drain line is leading to our basin, which you will see Valentine cutting a hole for right now for the other end of our drain line to connect into. Now here he is prepping our basin with all of the weep holes so that water could come in here. Check that out. And like I said earlier in the video, guys, it did not rain like that until about 2.5 weeks into this project. So for over 2 weeks here, we were sitting here with this drain line completely dry, this basin completely dry, and I'm sitting there like every day, and I'm like, Now I could have sworn whenever I did that inspection, that thing looked like it needed a drainage job. So I was actually relieved whenever Hector sent me those clips of that water dumping down inside that bad boy, because not only does that let us know that this job was done properly, but that let us know that this job was needed and I did not sell anything in vain, which I never want to do. And I do not pitch jobs unless I personally think that they need to be done. We still do a handful of projects each year that do not have to have any inside perimeter drainage work, but on a lot of them, yes, that does need to be done. And if I see that there is signs of water that has been or is physically present inside the crawl space during my inspection, I will 100% of the time suggest the inside perimeter drainage work. And if that water problem is present and that homeowner does not want to address that drainage work, we will not be doing any encapsulation work for that particular person. Let's all crawl back here real fast to make sure old Hector ain't doing nobody dirty and finished up his installation. Hector, man, you got mud up there all around that basin whenever you came inside this crawl space. I think it was on your shoes or something.
Shoes? Look at me. I ain't got no shoes.
Dude, your feet are so muddy, they're black.
What you need that, man?
Hey, is that installation finished?
Yes, sir.
And you won't be able to tell a drastic difference right now with it being summertime, but come wintertime, Beverly, these floors will be warmer than they've ever been the entire time you guys have lived inside this home. I got to go over here now and get your monitor, which I will be sitting up there on your front porch for you. I'll show you that before I finish the video. And Beverly, I hope everyone watching has been as impressed as I have been to see that finished project that's been done under this house, because man, not just because we did it here at Tennessee Technicians, but guys, that's as good as it gets. That is spectacular. That's phenomenal. Beverly, I'm going to set your monitor right here, right at your front door, and then I will message that to you here in just a moment as well. So whenever you get home this evening, your monitor once again is right there at your front door entry. Guys, I want to thank each and every single one of you for your time. Appreciate you joining us here on another finished project. I got my daughter sitting inside the truck. She's probably thinking, Dad, shut up, let's get out of here and get something to eat. But anyways, guys, thank you so much as always, and I can't wait to talk to each and every single one of you inside that next project video.